What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today we're going to discuss a few things because current events are currently ongoing as always. And in the labor movement, anytime something happens for one, it affects other working folks. And that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. We're also going to discuss the National Labor Relations Act in brief because I think it's pertinent in this Strike-tober, Strike-tember, Strike August, Strike 2023, where workers are rising up for their rights. They're rising up and fighting back against oppressive management, wage oppressors, and folks who are just trying to keep people poor and working starvation wages so that they continue to turn the machine gears. The National Labor Relations Act protects us, and it was fought for. Our siblings and our forefathers of union descent fought and died for it. They were massacred for it. They were framed for it. They were persecuted under law for it. But we got it. And it now protects your ability to be able to organize your workplace, to be able to fight back and collectively bargain for a bigger slice of the pie that you create. All right. And then lastly, I'm going to give you an announcement for Local 26 members and their families. Renew is putting together their fourth quarter blood drive, and they need all the blood they can get. All of that and more. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share. All right, here we go. According to More Perfect Union, who tweeted this out just a few hours ago, a wave of walkouts is hitting Walgreens and CVS as workers demand better pay and working conditions. The labor movement is changing what people believe they can achieve by agitating for better. Without a demand, power concedes nothing. Remember that. Pharmacy employees at Walgreens and CVS and pharmacist advocates told CNN that their work has always been difficult, but the pandemic made things near impossible. Employees described severe and chronic understaffing, low pay, high vaccination quotas, long stretches without bathroom breaks, and abusive management and violent customers. Inspired by successful labor strikes across the country this year, they're saying enough is enough and organizing walkouts as part of what some labor advocates are calling Pharmageddon. I love the framing because it's important to frame things correctly. Pharmageddon is beautiful, catchy, love it, hope it spreads like wildfire. Why? Because the only way we gain anything is if there is a threat, we will withhold our power. And what power does working people have? Our work. Rich people don't get rich unless we work. Understand that. That is your power. Wherever workers are working, that's where power is being applied, and rich people profit off of it. It's only fair that the workers get their proper portion of pie. And how do you do that? Threatening to withhold your labor? And if push comes to shove, withholding your labor. And there is a law that guarantees your right to concerted activity, and it is called the National Labor Relations Act, passed in 1935. I'm going to give you a brief intro into why it was necessary, and I'll drop these links into the description box because those of you who are considering organizing their workplace, you need to know about the National Labor Relations Act and how it protects your rights. Those of you inside of unions who are fighting for better contracts, you need to know about the National Labor Relations Act and how it protects your rights. It's important for anyone who works for a living to at least know something about this law in particular, because it can directly affect your slice of the pie. So let's dive on in really quick. National Labor Relations Act. In 1935, Congress passed the National Labor Relations Act, making clear that it is the policy of the United States to encourage collective bargaining by protecting workers' full freedom of association. The NLRA protects workplace democracy by providing employees at private sector workplaces the fundamental right to seek better working conditions and designation of representation without the fear of retaliation. The findings and policy of the National Labor Relations Act is spelled out in Section 1. This is very short, so I'm going to go ahead and give you this one as well. The denial by some employers of the right of employees to organize and the refusal by some employers to accept the procedure of collective bargaining lead to strikes and other forms of industrial strife or unrest, which have the intent or the necessary effect of burdening or obstructing commerce by impairing the efficiency, safety, or operation of the instrumentalities of commerce, occurring in the current of commerce, materially affecting, restraining, or controlling the flow of raw materials or manufactured or processed goods from or into the channels of commerce, or the prices of such materials or goods in commerce, or causing diminution of employment and wages in such volume as substantially to impair or disrupt the market for goods flowing from or into the channels of commerce. The inequality of bargaining power between employees who do not possess full freedom of association or actual liberty of contract and employers who are organized into corporate or other forms of ownership association substantially burdens and affects the flow of commerce and tends to aggravate recurrent business depressions by depressing wage rates and the purchasing power of wage earners in industry, and by preventing the stabilization of competitive wage rates and working conditions within and between industries. Experience has proved that protection by law of the right of employees to organize and bargain collectively safeguards commerce from injury, impairment, or interruption, and promotes the flow of commerce by removing certain recognized sources of industrial strife and unrest, by encouraging practices fundamental to the friendly adjustment of industrial disputes arising out of differences as to wages, hours, or other working conditions, and by restoring equality of bargaining power between employers and employees. Experience has further demonstrated that certain practices by some labor organizations, their officers and members, have the intent or the necessary effect of burdening or obstructing commerce by preventing the free flow of goods in such commerce through strikes and other forms of industrial unrest, or through concerted activities which impair the interests of the public in the free flow of such commerce. The elimination of such practices is a necessary condition to the assurance of the rights herein guaranteed. It is declared to be the policy of the United States to eliminate the causes of certain substantial obstructions to the free flow of commerce, and to mitigate and eliminate these obstructions when they have occurred by encouraging the practice and procedure of collective bargaining, and by protecting the exercise by workers of full freedom of association, self-organization, and designation of representation by their own choosing for the purpose of negotiating the terms and conditions of their employment or other mutual aid or protection. That's a lot to say that there is a power imbalance between workers and companies, and it's in the best interests of the public that these two powers legally have rules that force them to collectively work together to figure out where balance is. Historically, the ones with the most power have abused and denigrated these folks, and that's why the law was needed. It was needed because strikes, work stoppages affected the larger community around them. Also, when these battles happened, innocents died too, because the owners didn't care. The ones with power never care. They shoot indiscriminately. History has taught us why we need this. The law is in place for your protection, and you need to know that. Check the description box, browse the law, use it as reading material to learn your rights so that you can use it, because it's necessary. And lastly, I wanted to give you the Renew information. IBEW and Renew are joining together with Red Cross to hold a donation event at our Manassas Hall. So who? Well, we're looking for brave IBEW members and their families to donate blood. When? This is happening November 4th, 2023. Time slots are from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's at the Manassas Hall, which is 7010 Infantry Ridge Road, Manassas, Virginia. To sign up, just go to redcrossblood.org/give and enter the sponsor code IBEW26 Manassas. You select your time slot and then come on out to the event and donate blood. It's needed. My name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded. Remember, the fight's not left and right, it's up and down. It's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one teach one, get out there and reach one, and there could be no union without you and I front and center. Let's get it. Peace.